Hello, everyone, and welcome to Father of History, the channel where we explore the most fascinating and bizarre stories from the past. Today, we're going to talk about one of the most epic and ruthless conquerors in history, Genghis Khan. And we're going to tell you how he used 1,000 cats to take down a city. Yes, you heard that right, cats. How did he do it? Why did he do it? And what happened to the cats? Stay tuned to find out. Genghis Khan was the founder and first Khagan of the Mongol Empire, which later became the largest contiguous land empire in history. He was born around 1162 as Temujin, the son of a Mongol chieftain. He grew up in a harsh and brutal environment where he had to fight for survival and power. He gradually united the Mongol tribes under his rule and launched a series of military campaigns that conquered large parts of China and Central Asia. He was also known for his innovative and brutal tactics in warfare, such as using psychological warfare, siege engines, and even animals. He once said, "The greatest happiness is to vanquish your enemies, to chase them before you, to rob them of their wealth, to see those dear to them bathed in tears, to clasp to your bosom their wives and daughters." One of his most famous animal-related exploits happened in 1207 when he was besieging the city of ýᴏᴜʀ in the Tangut Kingdom of Cixi, a vassal state of China. ýᴏᴜʀ was a well-fortified city with high walls and strong defenses. It was also rich and prosperous, with many temples and palaces. Genghis Khan wanted to capture it and plunder its wealth. But he knew that it would be difficult and costly to take it by force, so he decided to use a cunning trick. He sent a messenger to the city, offering to end the siege if they paid him a tribute of 1,000 cats and 1,000 swallows. The Tanguts were puzzled by this strange request, but they agreed to it, thinking that it was a sign of weakness or desperation from Genghis Khan. They gathered the animals and handed them over to the Mongols, but Genghis Khan had a sinister plan in mind. He ordered his men to tie small pieces of cloth soaked in oil or tar to the tails of the cats and swallows. Then he set them on fire and released them in one great rush of living fire towards the city. The terrified animals ran or flew back to their homes inside the city walls, setting fire to everything they touched. The wooden houses and buildings quickly caught fire, creating a huge inferno that engulfed the city. The flames spread so fast that the defenders had no time to react or put them out. They were too busy fighting the fire or fleeing for their lives. Genghis Khan seized this opportunity and attacked the city with his army. He easily breached the walls and slaughtered anyone who resisted. He captured ýᴏᴜʀ and added it to his growing empire. But this was not just a random act of cruelty or madness. Genghis Khan had a reason for using cats and swallows as weapons of mass destruction. He knew that these animals were sacred to the Tanguts, who practiced a form of Buddhism that revered all living beings. By desecrating their holy animals, he hoped to demoralize them and break their spirit. He also knew that these animals were useful for pest control in the city. Cats kept rats and mice at bay, while swallows ate insects and mosquitoes. By destroying these animals, he exposed the city to plagues and diseases that would weaken its population. Genghis Khan was not only a master of war, but also a master of psychology. He understood his enemies' culture, beliefs, and weaknesses, and used them against them. But how did he manage to besiege such a well-defended city in the first place? How did he overcome its walls and moats? How did he deal with its defenders' arrows and stones? Well, Genghis Khan had another trick up his sleeve: siege warfare. The Mongols were not only skilled horsemen and archers, but also experts in siege engineering. They learned from their enemies and allies and adapted their techniques and technologies to suit their needs. They used a variety of siege weapons, such as catapults, trebuchets, ballistas, battering rams, scaling ladders, and even gunpowder weapons. They also used spies, informers, and defectors to gather intelligence and sabotage the enemy's defenses. One of the most impressive examples of Mongol siege warfare was the siege of ýᴏᴜʀ in 1207. Before using the cats and swallows, Genghis Khan had tried to take the city by storm. He had built stockades, watchtowers, trenches, and guardhouses, and forced Chinese captives to haul supplies and fill moats. He also used siege engines to bombard the city with stones, fireballs, and even corpses of dead animals and humans to spread disease and terror. He had also attempted to scale the walls with ladders, but had failed and suffered heavy casualties. That's when he came up with the idea of using the cats and swallows. He knew that the city was already weakened by his attacks and that the fire would finish the job. He also knew that the fire would create smoke and confusion, which would cover his assault. He was right. The city fell to his mercy. So that's how Genghis Khan conquered a city with 1,000 cats. It was a clever and cruel strategy that showed his ingenuity and ruthlessness. He once said, "I am the punishment of God. If you had not committed great sins, God would not have sent a punishment like mine upon you." But what happened to the cats? Well, some of them probably died in the fire or were killed by the Mongols. Others may have escaped or survived somehow. Maybe some of them even became ancestors of today's cats in China or Mongolia. What do you think of this story? Do you know any other examples of animals being used in warfare? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more History Unleashed.